Hey everybody, Jocelyn here. I am at Las Vegas BSides. This is Cybersecurity Boot Camp Week with 4 different cybersecurity conferences going on. And I'm here with an amazing cyber safety expert, Glen.
Hello.
Great to meet you. Glen is with DeleteMe and just did an incredible walkthrough of what we need to do to stay safe online. And Glen, you had some great things to say about apps and what they really are. Most of us think of apps as software.
Your mobile apps are malware. And the reason I say that is they're working against your privacy. The vast majority of them collect a lot of information that you didn't necessarily sign up for. And maybe you did by checking that terms of service box or, gloss over that. But they're collecting things like your precise geolocation information, your contacts, your things you don't necessarily actually want to give up. So they are invading your privacy, and that's kind of why I call them malware. They really are.
I love that. And how do you define malware?
Software that's working against your interests. Mm-hmm. It's collecting information that you probably don't want to share.
And without your consent.
Without your consent.
Right.
And
non-consensual malware. Here we go.
And more information than you necessarily were aware of that was possible in a lot of cases.
So why is it? I get questions sometimes. One of the questions that popped up in the chat under one of my videos was, why do apps say, ask app not to track instead of deny access to app?
Well, that's sending a request to say, I don't want to be tracked. That is voluntary. It's not necessarily mandated.
Right.
So my position is you just deny it that access. That can mean a lot of things, but you don't necessarily have to download the app. You can run it from a browser on your machine, on your phone, and you can pin it in such a way to your home screen that it looks and behaves a lot like an app does. So that is, you should ask whether you actually need that app or not, or whether you need that function or not. But there are some things that you can do to reduce the risk of gathering that information at that level. It's still going to gather some information, obviously, but the more you can compartmentalize, abstract that away, give it less than it wants, the better.
That's great. You also had some great advice about when all of us are signing up for a new loyalty program or something, it's asking all these questions about us, and it's human nature to just tell them everything. You have a good admonition for people to follow.
We've been conditioned to just provide that information, and we need to train ourselves to be a little bit skeptical, to ask, who's asking? What are they asking for? Do they really need that information? And if they don't give it to them. If you still want to use the service, you don't necessarily have to give your real information. You don't have to give your real phone number, your real email address. You can give an email alias. There are a lot of services, Proton Pass, Simple Login, Addy.io, where you can generate an alias that forwards to your real email address. So they can still send you stuff, but it's on your terms, puts you back in control of your email, not their terms.
That's great advice. And because when you think about it, how do these companies make money?
In a lot of cases, you are not the customer, you are the product. They make their money by collecting your information, your data, and selling it, repackaging it, selling it again, reselling it. There's a whole data broker industry out there that's huge and
legal.
And I often call it the invisible ecosystem because it's grown up around us in such a way that we haven't noticed it. But it's large. There's a lot of information that is bought, sold, traded every day about us. And we should really adopt the mentality that that's my information, not somebody else's information to do it. Just because they can collect it on me doesn't mean it's theirs.
Love that. That's really an empowerment message, too.
Yeah.
Which is taking back control, which has just been given away by default. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's great. Especially with everything. That is great advice. Final thing. Let's see. What does your shirt say?
It says, I am offensive.
That is
I am
great.
offensive. I am offensive. Offensive security. I try not to be personally offensive to most people.
But you know what? Thank you for helping us all learn how to play offense and defense with our personal safety. Keep up the good the good work, and we're all fighting the good fight. So
Thank
take his
you.
advice, follow Glen's advice, and also you work for DeleteMe,
Do work for DeleteMe.
which is tell people what DeleteMe is.
DeleteMe removes your exposed personal information online from the data brokers and the vast ecosystem out there. So it can help you reduce your digital footprint by quite a bit.
Now, some people would say, well, can't I do that myself by doing the search on Google and replacing them? For those of us who've been down that path and have also used tools like DeleteMe and Data Broker Removal, tell people what the difference is with using a DeleteMe versus doing it yourself.
So you can absolutely opt out of all these data brokers yourself. The problem is the process is always a little bit different. It takes a lot of research and effort, and it can really be time-consuming in a way that is prohibitive for most people.
There are hundreds of data broker sites that you're going to find your name on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you so much. Great having that, and what a great start to the week. Getting to kick this off with you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Until next time.
Thanks for having me.
Stay safe out there.